given the absence of Tyler Lamb. Lamb did not play Tuesday, has not played tonight.
During this time of the year, against these opponents, obviously you want all your guys, but this is the time to get him right. You know, I mean, I mentioned earlier, you don't want it something that lingers the entire season. He's one of your best perimeter defenders. Take care of the problem now so that he's at 100%.
And there's Powell with a good baseline drive. 14 now for Norman Powell.
Good to see him get it going here tonight. I think making those first couple shots really got him off on the right foot.
Ooh, and that three is good by Moore, his first points. He went down hoping to get the whistle, didn't happen.
He's creeping up on 1,000 career points.
Powell answers with three at the other end.
Powell's watching Jordan Adams going, you know what? He's making it look pretty easy. Let me see if I can do that.
Norman Powell with 17 points now, just 2 off his career high. Yep, Travis Ware saved that right back into the James Madison collection of players.
Powell got his career high last year against Irvine, team they played on Tuesday night. Talking with Tracy Murray at halftime, we were joking about we always used to hate these games because when you're up 30 at halftime, what does that mean? You're not going to, if you're a starter, you're not going to play very much in the second half.
And that was where I was going to ask you that, as Travis Ware misses the turn, James Madison back. When you have a new team,
yeah, but
do you want, and there's an and one, nice finish there by Goins for James Madison. My question is, if you're Ben Howland, do you want these guys to play together?
Well, you do, but you got to do the right thing too. And whether or not your guys on your bench can still extend the lead doesn't matter. The opposing coach knows that you've taken your starters out, and that's the right thing to do. So I'm sure if this stays at 30 plus, not sure when Coach Allen will pull the trigger, but he's going to have to at some point. And I think there's guys over on that bench, as much as you want to see your starters together and get some cohesion, and the more minutes they play together in live situations is better. But why not get Josh Smith a bunch of minutes tonight, see how far he can go. You know, Tony Parker,
well, that, yeah,
still rounding himself into shape. You know, get those guys some big chunks of minutes, right, where they can really get some value out of it.
And that's the freedom that Ben Howland may have tonight. Powell stepping in, and there's a block. Tuesday night's game here, they went the same 5. Pretty much the last 5 minutes of regulation and the 5 of OT.
Well, I think, yeah, once they got to OT, those guys had been out there for so long, and the other guys had been sitting for so long, you didn't want to make any changes.
Now, this kind of night gets you numbers and can get you some bests, so Norman Powell's got a chance to pull that off.
Well, it's good for I'm assuming that the game's going to stay this way for the most part the rest of the way, but good confidence builder for this UCLA team. A lot of people talking about them after Tuesday's game. How do you let Irvine take you to OT? But now they go back and they really get a test. Monday, Tuesday, they have Georgetown on Monday. If they win that game, they'll more than likely have Indiana, the #1 team in the country. So they're really going to find out where they're at next week if they beat Georgetown on Monday.
UCLA going back to play in the new, brand new, beautiful building in Brooklyn.
And then after that, Ted, I mean, you got Cal Poly and Northridge, which will probably be similar to these games. And you got San Diego State in the Wooden Classic, and then Texas on the road. So non-conference schedule pretty good this year for UCLA.
Long Beach State, which has been a conference champ the last couple of
Missouri.
years.
Missouri, right. That's right before the conference season starts. That's our last game before they open up at home against Cal.
Oh, A.J. Davis gathered again after Powell had reached around to try and slap it free. Just the second basket for A.J. Davis. And now James Madison will come right back.
I think this game's going to open up for James Madison now. You know, when the lead gets this big, guys just start playing a little more free, knowing the outcome's probably already done. A good experience for James Madison. And a lot of these guys, you know, whether or not they play after college or not, they can at least say they played in the new Pauley Pavilion.
Yep.
And that's a special thing for a mid-major conference team to get the opportunity to play here in this building.
17 for Rayshawn Goins. Well, James Madison out of the Colonial, the CAA, which has been a pretty good league, but lost their biggest member, Virginia Commonwealth, VCU, 2 years removed from the Final Four. They left this past summer, went to the A-10. Travis Ware with a pivot.
One of the bright young coaches in the country, Shaka Smart.
CAA is one of those conferences, you know, it's kind of like the WCC or the Big West out here. They play pretty good basketball, just don't get the national hub for it.
All about TV, right? Seems like it.
Great UCLA starters out there for almost 5 minutes in this stretch to start the second half with a 33-point lead. I think really that's a great call on your part. They're in ODU's in Norfolk, right? And Mason's in DC. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Scott Barkey reminds me of that every like 3 minutes. Wow. Okay. I got an email from David Gibson about this play. He liked it. He reminds me. Scott likes to remind me of that every 3 minutes. Thank you. It has been a terrific football season for UCLA. First year with Jim Mora at the helm, and Jonathan Franklin in his last year has become UCLA's all-time leading rusher. He's passed some glorious names on the list to do that.
Tell you what's terrific are those unis.
Yeah,
I like those.
Well, UCLA and USC playing Saturday at the Rose Bowl, and it's for the South title in all likelihood, and the spot in the Pac-12 championship game.
I hope it's a good game. You know, a lot of build up to it. UCLA having their best season in a long time. I hope that it comes down to the wire on Saturday.
USC will clinch if they win. UCLA still has another game to play against Stanford.
Tough couple weeks for the Bruins.
I know one thing. Pasadena is used to this because of the Tournament of Roses parade, but the game is noon, and they're telling everyone today that the parking lots are going to open at 6 a.m. at the Rose Bowl.
And no one's going to be tailgating either at 6 a.m.
Charles Cook coming back in for James Madison.
Jordan Adams in the game. Josh Smith.
So far, Ben Howland has not broken out of the 8-man rotation. That's what we're going to get to, Don, in his last sequence, because he keeps these 8. These are the 8 that are playing. And how long does this 8-man group play before you start going a little deeper in your bench?
Well, you got Parker as well, who played.
Right, he's the 8th.
Yeah, he played 7 minutes. But you got Tyler Lamb, who's going to be in the rotation. I would imagine it's going to be a 9-man rotation, and obviously some of the guys not as big a minutes as others. But, you know, things happen during the season. You know, foul trouble, hopefully not, but injuries. So it's all subject to change as the season moves along. But I'll tell you, and I'm not sure what they were planning on with him, but this Jordan Adams is playing, going to be playing a much bigger role than I think everybody expected him before the season started.
Adams is 5 out of 5 tonight at the foul line. It's 26 out of 27 to start the year from the free throw line.
Pretty good start.
And there he is on the floor. That's going to endear himself to coach as much as anything.
Can't believe he didn't shoot that one.
Anderson with a big step down the lane, trying to finish his own.
Well, you like the fact that he stayed with it, but that's where the strength will come in for him. You know, the length is there, the size is there, but now it's just about adding that strength to go up and finish those plays. It'll come.
Enoch Hood had that flying follow. Here comes James Madison again, and A.J. Davis will go back to the line.
Well, you love the fact that James Madison's still playing. You know, a lot of times you'll see teams get dejected and kind of quit playing, but James Madison's still playing, and Davis out in transition. And for him, scoreboard or not, there's people here to watch him. And when you're a senior or an underclassman even, and there's NBA people here to watch you, they're watching everything. They want to see if you're going to quit on the game down 30, if you're still going to keep playing. And so it's a good sign that he is still playing.
All right, Anderson down for UCLA.
We may not see him again tonight with that wrist. You know, maybe get some ice on it.
He's played over 20 minutes tonight, so he's had a workout. A.J. Davis.
It's just one of those things. I mean, we don't know how painful it is. He said it was painful, but don't want to aggravate it. You know, as we talked about, they got to play Monday. It's Thursday tonight, so you'd like that thing to get some days of healing without making it worse, playing meaningless minutes in this one.
Nice kick along the baseline. And Larry Drew, that's a play that you think UCLA could make a lot with this year. Drew can get in deep and shoot it right along the baseline to a shooter like this.
Well, apparently, this Jordan Adams doesn't need much space or time. And that's just pure. This guy.
21 tonight. They've learned his name.
You think?
3 games in, they're chanting his name.
As well they should be.
Yeah. Nice spin move to side. This guy definitely. You see, he used that year off we referenced in the first half. Goins did a good job getting himself into a little better shape, changed the body, come back for a 5th year. And he's got 19 tonight.
It's good to hear, too, because a lot of guys, when they miss a season because of what obviously must have been somewhat of a major injury, you know, they wait too long to get themselves ready for the next season. You know, it's easy to say, oh, I'm out for the year. I got plenty of time. And some guys say, you know what, I'm going to use this time to work on something, whether it's my body, to lose weight, to get stronger, whatever it may be. And that's exactly what he did.
James Madison. They're trying to. There's a nice little roll by Ware.
That right there, Ted, is what you like to see from Jordan Adams. He's got it going again tonight. He's got 20 plus, but he doesn't force it. He's not jacking it. That was the right play for that situation. Gets an assist instead of taking a tough shot, and that's what good scorers that are good players do. They don't just look to score, they can make plays as well.
But I think that's a great distinction I want to get to in a second, is the Pac-12 Network's women's basketball season opener will kick off November 23rd with a rivalry that the men need to keep playing. And since we represent those two schools, I'm going to say that. Notre Dame and UCLA.
UCLA coming off a big win over Oklahoma.
Yeah. I'm glad the women are playing. But that rivalry in the men's game was phenomenal.
Is that off
wow,
the window?
A.J. Davis, yep, with a kiss. Yeah.
That wasn't a typical spot on the floor where you would use glass. I'll just say that. Whether he was trying to or not.
Travis Ware with a tip. Smith puts it back up and in.
The wide body of Josh Smith is hard to get around, and when he is playing with energy, there's nobody in the country that can stop this guy. Stays with it, put back, UCLA rolling.
Boom, yep, and then boom. That is good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Freeze it there. And then so I can set it up and then freeze it at when he starts to roll. Yeah. Right there. And then I'll say he's, going to, you've got to really press on this thing. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Back at the new Pauley Pavilion, UCLA up 31. Let's take a look at some of UCLA's half-court offense, and Jordan Adams a big part of that already. Here's Travis Ware, here's Jordan Adams, here's Larry Drew. They're setting up a down screen, but what happens is Travis Ware misses the pick, frees it, and now he's got a direct line to it, and because Jordan Adams has his head up right here, he can find him. Instead of coming off looking to shoot, he's going to get it to Travis Ware for the easy layup. So good half-court offense, but again, unselfish play by Jordan Adams.
That gets to the point. You made a great comment there, Don. There is a distinction between a scorer and a player.
Right, and guys with high basketball IQ and guys that make shots don't have to force it. You know what I mean? They don't have to. They don't have to have 22 field goal attempts to get 22 points. They take good shots. They make good shots and don't force the issue all the time.
I would suggest scorers make themselves better, players make their teammates better.
Well, now here's the thing. If we're talking about that play we were just drawing on, now the next time Jordan comes off that down screen, they're going to be hedging back to where? Now what? You're open for the jumper.
Good tip of the ball by Larry Drew.
Gotta go.
Cook had to fire there. Well, in the 30-point game, that's a good defensive set for UCLA.
Over penetration that time by Powell.
Kyle Anderson's coming back in.
Surprised at that. Really am. Only because of the hurt wrist.
This minute.
You know, maybe it's not bothering him. And, you know, players want to play. So I'm sure Coach Allen asked him how the wrist was feeling. And he told him fine so that he could come back in the game.
Anderson dips in again. Now he has 11 rebounds tonight, Anderson. Doesn't seem that way.
10 in the first game against Indiana State.
1 of 9 from the floor. Now, I ask you this about Anderson. We've seen a couple of these instances here in the second half. Is there a learning curve for him on playing in there and getting fouled?
Yeah, I think to a certain degree, but I made the point earlier a few minutes ago that I think for him it's a strength issue. I think he'll be more efficient and more effective down there the stronger he gets to finish plays. You know, he's got the length and the feel. And the thing with him is he's such a willing passer. I get the feeling when he is posted up down there and he gets it, he's always looking to pass rather than score first.
Yeah, James Madison looked like they were going to create a turnover, but ball not kept by Moore. And Matt Brady enduring this right now. This is a one-game trip for James Madison. They'll be going to Pittsburgh, and they'll play 3 more games in this preseason event at Duquesne starting Monday.
Yeah, the sub-regional for the Legends Classic that we talked about earlier. UCLA going to the new Brooklyn Arena to play Georgetown Monday. These other teams, they play Irvine, going to Huntsville, Texas, I believe.
Right, yep.
And this James Madison team going to Duquesne.
Ball turned over here. James Madison has a little bit of a place in college basketball history. Oh, good block there. Andre Nation thought he was going to get one, and Travis Ware stuck it. And Anderson with the feed sets up Tony Parker, who will go to the line.
The vision. Let's take a look at the block. Nation thought he had a clear path, and Travis Ware there to swat it away. The vision of Kyle Anderson is staggering for a first-year college player. It really is. And I know he has the size to see over the defense, but I mean, the attempts at passing he makes to thread the needle, and they almost always get through and are on the money and are on time. And that's why he was so highly rated coming out of high school. Not a volume scorer, but that passing at his size and the ability to play point guard, like we talked about on Tuesday, Ted, are just so unique.
Oh, nice spin inside. Boy, Rayshawn Goins did well. He'll get himself to the line. James Madison didn't even play Division I basketball until 1976. Their 5th year playing Division I. They went to the NCAA tournament. In the first round, they beat Georgetown. And it was one of those years when the tournament was just starting to enlarge, and it was the Cinderella win. Remember, the coach was Lou Campanelli, how he danced on TV when James Madison won. And it was one of a handful of games like that that helped really grow the NCAA tournament. Lou Campanelli, of course, came to this conference and was involved at Cal, where he had a couple of guards of some note. Kevin Johnson, one of the great players in Pac-10 then, and then Jason Kidd.
That's right. He was a coach at Cal when I played here at UCLA from '88 to '92.
The tough part for James Madison, they made the tournament, NCAA tournament, 3 straight years when Campanelli coached, 81, 82, 83, and they've never been back. And that's what they've been trying to do, is get what Jim Larinaga, for example, did at George Mason for a long time, and he had that one Final Four run.
Well, that's what every kid that goes to college and plays Division I wants to do, is play in the NCAA tournament. And that's the goal for everybody.
And 9 minutes even to go here. One thing for James Madison, when they finally get home, they're going to be happy. They're going to start with 5 straight away from home.
They actually go to Vegas as well right before Christmas. There's San Jose State and San Diego, the Las Vegas Classic at the MGM. We talked
Oregon
about
State will be in there too.
We talked about UCLA's schedule, and this will be a process. I mean, you know, you're incorporating new players, young players, and this is obviously the best they've played so far this year tonight. They're still going to have some ups and downs, but the key, and Coach Allen talks about it all the time, is being ready to win the conference title. And they're certainly in that mix. If and when the Shabazz Muhammad situation gets figured out, they'll have to deal with that as well, incorporating Shabazz into the mix as well.
They've got a career high for UCLA's Norman Powell tonight, 22 points. And Rayshawn Goins is closing in. His career high is 25. That gives him 22, or excuse me, 24 tonight.
Wonder at what point, we talked about it earlier, Coach Allen starts pulling some of these regulars. That's the other thing too that I didn't mention. If you pull them too early, it's almost a little insulting too.
Yes.
So you got to pick the right time.
And that's where I was going down. When does Ben Howland break out of the 8-man rotation and start getting some of the other guys some minutes?
Not sure, but this is really helpful for Tony Parker here. I bet you he plays the rest of the way, and hopefully they dump it down into him some. Try and get him going here early in his UCLA career.
A.J. Davis with that basket, 12 tonight for James Madison. Good seal down low. Wow, that's nice.
Delivery.
Yeah.
I mean, he sees things that most, again, first-year college players just don't see, and even if they do see it, Ted, they can't deliver it. I mean, the vision, the ability to use angles, spin the ball, watch the spin on this ball, spin it right to him, right on the money, easy score for Tony Parker. He makes life easier for his teammates.
Pac-12 basketball brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Two dramatically different games in 48 hours at New Pauley Pavilion. UCLA involved in an absolute thriller with Irvine Tuesday night. Tonight, all Bruins as we see our game snapshot brought to you by Sony.
And UCLA shooting just a tick under 60% from the floor. And how about that three-point shooting for UCLA tonight? The efficiency tonight off the chart, 16 to 20 from the line for 80%. And then doing a better job on the backboard. I still think they can be better than they've been tonight. Something they'll continue to work on is rebounding their own defensive board.
There's A.J. Davis. Blow by move. And Larry Drew out with it. So here we are at 6.5 to go, and you still have the front line players, members of the 8-man rotation for Ben Howland on the court. Oh, nice deflection by Powell. And Norman Powell with another strong play. Just tried to finger roll that over the front.
You see it a lot of times, especially with young players, is they have success early in the game, and it kind of gives them a spark that they continue throughout the whole game with. Yeah. He made his first couple shots, and I think that set him off in the right direction and winds up with a career high tonight.
Speaks a little bit to the team, doesn't it? UCLA knocked shots down the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, but here's the difference, Ted. They did that against Irvine on Tuesday, right? They got off to a good start. It's not like they were flat and they got down early against Irvine. They had a double-digit lead and then just kind of lost themselves on the defensive end, and all of a sudden it was a game. Tonight, it was lights out from the beginning. Haven't looked back.
So in his second year, Norman Powell having his high-scoring game thus far as a Bruin, 23.
You can't help but think either that what Jordan Adams has done in his first 3 games has inspired Norman Powell a little bit. You know, they play the same position. Now, they can be on the floor at the same time. It doesn't mean it's one or the other, but Norman Powell watching Jordan Adams come out and get 23.5 his first 2 games, probably saying to himself, you know what, I better get myself going here. He's going to start taking some of my minutes. But as we know, you have to do it on both ends. For Coach Ben Howland. It's fine if you're getting 23, but if you're not guarding anybody and you're losing responsibility on the defensive end, and you know that's not going to earn you more minutes.
Parker got out of that double team nicely. So here's a question, Don. You're referencing Tony Parker perhaps may play these stretch minutes. Can Tony Parker and Josh Smith be on the court at the same time?
Oh, absolutely.
They could. Okay.
Absolutely, because you have so much versatility with your wings. You know, your 1, 2, and 3 that you can put 2 big bodies down there. You know, I think the only concern would be for now would be pick and roll situations. Can they hedge out there the way UCLA wants to? I think Tony Parker has worked on his conditioning. He's in way better condition than he was when he got here. But he's a young guy that's still learning how to play the system, what they want defensively from a technique standpoint. But I think he could get away with playing them both at the same time against certain matchups.
Travis Ware came out top, set a screen, and then Powell did the rest.
He's been ultra aggressive tonight.
25 for Norman Powell. Up and under, nice there by Diouf. Leon Diouf, just his second basket. Talk about playing free. And Jordan Adams had that lined all the way to set up Powell.
And perfectly timed by Powell. but right on the money by Adams. That's not an easy pass, by the way. In transition, throwing that lob pass, you don't put too much air under it, too high, too low, throw it too hard so he can't get there. He made that pass look easier than it was.
A real nice feed down low by A.J. Davis, but didn't result in points for James Madison.
Can't remember the last time UCLA had 92 in a game. Should probably look that up.
Well, the last time they had 100, a couple of years ago, against New Mexico State here.
That's right.
December of '09, the last 100-pointer. Bruins should get that in the last 3.5 minutes. As, oh, look at that, Travis Ware set it up. Norman Powell did the rest. A career-high 27. And here's the flash. Which shot? Sure, whatever. It's good, Michael, whatever.
Here's what I don't get. Why is everyone still here? Yeah, but it's a 30-point game with 3:30 to go. You haven't seen enough? Okay. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Adams doesn't say anything. He's a horrible interview. I'm not sure Powell's better, but it's got to be one of those two. I think Powell's better than Adams.
Here's our Quicken Loans amazing play of the game. Jordan Adams, another electric first half tonight.
Green light. That's what he's got. He's playing the first 3 games of the season here has given him the green light. That's a tough shot, but you know what? You can make it. Go ahead and shoot it.
Adams has 21 tonight, 4 threes as part. Norman Powell with a career best 27. Kyle Anderson has 12 rebounds for UCLA, and Larry Drew 12 assists.
Well, that's going to be Larry Drew's job, is 12 assists, because he's got the horses to get it to. So if he's distributing and kicking it ahead like we've talked about, I'm not saying he's going to get 12 every game, but he should be nearing double digits most nights.
I just saw something, and I have to recover from it. Jordan Adams just hit the rim with a foul shot.
He's human.
That's the first one in 2 nights. The first time I'd even seen him hit the iron.
We talked about his mechanics and how pure they are. If you can repeat those mechanics like he does, you're a good shooter. And that's exactly what he is.
And Diouf is blocked at the goal by Tony Parker.
The UCLA student section has figured out that his last name is Diouf. So they're having some fun with that, apparently. The student section's really going to get behind it. Because here's the thing. I mean, yeah, it's a 30-point game and UCLA's 3-0. Well, this is a funner team to watch this year. It's more talented. You know, the style of play that we've been talking about so much. I think this crowd's really going to get it going this year, especially the student section.
And I think there's real, it's a great point, Don. As Adams inside. What a catch. Terrific catch and then body control. And he's got 25.
That's what scorers do, find ways, right? And he caught it, got it up on the rim, and it went in.
David Brown is on the floor for the first time tonight for UCLA.
Let's see if Anderson can manufacture a shot for Brown.
Oh, nice feed. Al Adams does it again, this time setting up Parker for 2. And Matt Brady up off the James Madison bench wants to stop things. Full timeout by JMU. 2.5 or so to play.
Anderson will talk. Different stance for Ben Howell in the closing minutes tonight. Sitting talking to his assistants, as opposed to the sweating it out. And there were a couple moments here Tuesday where it looked like Irvine was going to pull it off. Selfishly for us, the ones on Tuesday are a little more fun.
Right? Well, there's no shortage of drama. And,
that's what I mean.
And Graham, that's a mistake there. Aubrey Williams' pass going out of bounds.
Certainly for UCLA fans, they enjoy more of this variety tonight.
Exactly. And what, for example, James Madison tonight had it for a while. Rayshawn Goins giving him 24. And that's been the effort. As Khaled McCaskill comes in. And big hand for Adams out with 25. I was going to say, you really appreciate the effort the other night, for example, that Michael Wilder, senior for Irvine. Oh.
Look out.
Charles Cook with the score.
I would imagine that the Jordan Adams jerseys are flying off the shelves in the student store as we speak.
Well, Josh Smith getting not the long string of minutes, but getting a chance to play here down the stretch. He's played 14 minutes before coming in this sequence.
11 points, 5 rebounds. So again, there's the production that's there. You just want to see more minutes to increase that production even more.
Andre Nation, Plant City, Florida.
They got some athletes on this James Madison team for sure. Haven't really seen enough of it tonight. They've been taking it out of their own basket quite a bit. Hasn't allowed them to get out in transition.
Kentucky Parker gets that down. The 12 points for Parker. And that's 100 for UCLA, their first 100-point game in 3 years.
The fans cheered like they're giving away something if the team hits 100. They used to here in Pauley Pavilion, the old Pauley Pavilion. I think it changed year to year, but if the team scored 100, that's why it was always a big deal for times like this when the guys who don't get to play a lot to come in. They were counted on by the student section to get a couple buckets to get the thing over 100.
That's the pressure. Exactly that. And these are the guys a lot, not Tony Parker, but some of the other guys practice for months and months and months and may get 5 chances to get on the court all year. Ron Curry in transition. You see two guys, Curry, you mentioned Curry, and wears 2 for James Madison and Nation 15. And I'm sure by February, those two guys are going to be pretty good players in the Colonial. You see glimpses tonight of why they were regarded recruits. Soren Derbergosian in for the first time for UCLA. McCaskill's miss.
Well, certainly a win for UCLA to feel good about. Again, they go to New Jersey. Brooklyn,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come on.
Thinking New Jersey Nets. It's not the Brooklyn Nets.
Well, actually, it'll be a very there are parts of New York, including where I'm from, that suffered severe, still devastations from the storm, and that'll be a little sobering, certainly for college players to be involved in some of that while they're playing in a spectacular new arena.
Brand new arena and good competition. As we said earlier, they play Georgetown. If they win that, more than likely they will play the #1 team in the country, but an all-around great effort. Powell got it going tonight. Jordan Adams again got it going tonight. Got some good things out of Josh Smith. A total team effort, better on the defensive end, sharing the basketball, score 100 points.
It really was 40 minutes for UCLA tonight. Started, ready, and never let up. A 30-pointer at the new Pauley Pavilion. For our entire Pac-12 Networks team, with Don McClain, Ted Robinson, thanks for joining us on Pac-12 Networks. I'm finally rubbing off on you, Molinari. You know exactly what to call it. Yeah, that's good. I kind of missed no overtime tonight. Yeah, really did. Kind of a drag.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's not going to stay.